Camille and Gragas to be removed as QWQ here. They understand, hey, Valdez plays a Fiora jungle. Let's ban that one out. Make sure that he does not have access to that pick. Vi being banned is interesting. We don't see that much priority on Vi as a ban. It's usually an option for teams to pick up. But with the Ziggs open, that's first pick worthy. You take that any day of the week.
Definitely, Evos Esports actually going in ahead of the curve, banning away the Vi, picking up the Ziggs for their team as well. But this leaves Lee Sin and Gragas open for QWQ to pick up. A very aggressive early game and also a mid-game, late-game security. But Evos Esports, you know what, pick those up. We're gonna go for the Zyra Khan. Priority onto the Dragon lane.
To explain the Zyra Khan snap picks here, it's because they saw the Lee Sin. They're worried about the insect, the kick back into the QWQ squad. So with the evasion from the Featherstorm, it keeps Cat Satan a bit more safe when it comes to these engages. These tricky, kind of nasty angles for the jungler of QWQ will not be available. I do like this adaptation. The Renekton Olaf snap answer here as well. So Olaf was an old school counter to Lee Sin as well, just because there's nothing much you can do against the Olaf as Lee Sin when it comes to man fighting. And once he pops Ragnarok, you can't kick him back with the Dragon's Rage. He's just going to take damage, yes, but at a low health point, he duels you even better.
Plus, on top of all that, Olaf has true damage, and Braum and Gragas are tanky champions, and I think this is a good matchup. It's a good pickup coming from Evos Esports, and with Renekton with them as well, extra sustainability into the Baron lane, looking to match against QWQ today. But Orianna mid lane up against Ziggs in the same lane. So this is going to be very exciting to see on who is going to go on top, as the predictions are now coming through from the panel as they went for a 3-1 in favor of Evos Esports. And now let's jump into the rift.
All eyes on Cool here on this Varus, very immobile marksman. If he gets engaged upon by Miracle, his game is over, right? You have to respect the quickness and grand entrance combination coming in from Evos Esports. So I'm going to see how he positions in these fights. If he can get a max range, kind of piercing arrow consistently spaced out against Evos Esports, it looks a lot better. But if he gets caught, it's game over.
And we've seen how Varus has been playing down in the Summer Super Cup. It was amazing. Just one shot from the piercing arrow just decimates the HP of the enemy team. And I think if QWQ Cool gets ahead when it comes to the farm, there is a lot of opportunity at stake here for Evos Esports to bring down. And you're seeing right now, the lane swap are now coming through. And I want to hear your thoughts, Hungry, on what you think, why this is happening.
I explained this to Riku earlier, but the idea of this lane swap is just to set the Renekton behind. The Gragas, because he is, building tank, he has Grasp on the Undying. We expect this to be a tank Gragas, not AP Gragas. He's okay just sitting in this lane and kind of taking the L. But the instant response from Evos Esports is, hey, if we set up a kill lane now, if Miracle comes in level 2 with Grand Entrance, you can punish Cool and Berjaya here in the Baron lane. So I like this adaptation from Evos. They just have to be very careful how they play this one out.
Yeah, definitely. They don't need Miracle into the dual lane because Saya is a ranged champion and Gragas cannot just punish it through and through with his melee limitations. But now it's going to be the jungle going in, trying to get a kill onto Valdez, but Valdez survives a bit longer with a flash coming in from Jackie, putting him down from Tommy to follow through for the first blood. And QWQ gets ahead of this match.
This is tough. Valdez is going to take a tumble this early on. It's not even 2 minutes in. They've really punished this Olaf pick. Yes, they did burn 2 flashes for this, but QWQ, they have this small window now where Tommy's going to be able to walk down, take the Scuttle Crab as well, effectively double crabbing his opponent and giving control to his team.
And Rift Cutters right now are very, very important when it comes to your game. This gives you the information on where your enemy team might be or if they're going to go for the gank. But although we were expecting QWQ to go for the dual Rift Scuttler, we have a 4-man roam from Evos Esports to just secure the bot side map Rift Scuttler to give them information at the very least when it comes to their game.
Massive commitment just to get that Rift Scuttle, the Scuttle Crab there in the bottom side. It's such a heavy pull from Evos Esports, and they understand how important it is. As you can see, this is what we're talking about.
Tipper was just going in for an aggressive type of play style against Cool, and this is very ideal for them as well. Because having the dual lane into the Baron lane, if you have your Baron lane for Evos Esports as Tipper, aggress Cool when it comes to the early, he cannot farm that easily, especially how Evos Esports has built their draft very aggressive when it comes to the mid game, late game. So this is going to be
That's just an isolation, by the way.
It's gonna be Tommy going in with the Sonic Wave. The Flash is now gonna be burned as well as we have the Dragon Rage putting him at 1 HP. But QWQ will still survive that as they try to go for the Tier 1 turret into the barrel lane. But Tipper is there to go for the defense.
Good a setup on the dive there. They almost got the kill. If they got it, they probably would have been able to control the top half of the jungle a little bit more. I was just going to add on earlier about how you saw that matchup between Tipper and Cool side towards the Renekton in isolated one-on-one. Imagine if Miracle comes up as well with the Ignite. That is going to be a very dangerous matchup, which is why you can see that the side of QWQ are very concerned. They're swapping it over. They want to send the bot, the Dragon duo into the mid lane instead, or potentially back to the Dragon lane.
Yeah, definitely making it a standard already once again as we have Infernal Drake coming in at 5 seconds after. And this Dragon is not just any objective that can give freely against the enemy team. Just gives you extra damage potential when it comes to the mid game, late game. And I think Evos Esports, when you're looking at it, they went for the reset to come into the Dragon's Pit to go for the contest as QWQ is now going in for the aggressive setup on
Baldus isn't here.
Dragon. 1.5k HP remaining. Who's gonna take it? It's gonna be Evos Esports taking the steal onto the Infernal Dragon. QWQ trying to go back for a retreat, but Lee Sin will fall down as Tommy will be vanished from the face of the earth. It's gonna be the Mega Inferno Bomb, putting one more kill for the side of Evos Esports. They are crushing down QWQ and make it another as ADC falls down for the Hong Kong region for this match. Evos Esports is now at a lead, 4-2.
Dude, it was just like less than 5. There was a second difference there, right? If they were able to pick up the Inferno just before Valdez comes in, that fight looks completely different. So I think Evos Esports playing with fire, but they weren't burnt this time, and QWQ were the ones that got punished instead.
Top of all that, they got the Tapper's Blood. Now it's going to be the Grand Entrance going for the 3-man knock to save Miracle's life and also Valdez. But QWQ is persistent enough to go for the engage, and they overextended, did not get any kill. But they're looking for the Tier 1 turret into the mid lane and up to Evos Esports to go for the defense as Minefield will clear out the waves, will go for the successful defense. Only one turret plate secured by QWQ.
This is why teams love Zik so much. You pick up the early Luna's Echo and you just clear the wave from half a screen away. Moving into the death cap, that is going to get even worse for QWQ. The sieging is going to be even more difficult. Keep your eyes on Tommy to kick the Ziggs into his team. If they can find a pick onto G4, things look a lot better for QWQ. Otherwise, they're just standing in front of the turret. They're not going to be able to siege.
Definitely, G4 is someone that you need to contest when it comes to the early game, because if you just leave him open, as you've stated, Rabdon stat cap, 40% AP increase when it comes to the base damage. And on top of all that, you have the Luden's Echo. He's gonna clear out the enemy team very easily, and even the waves as well when you want to push down. And it's now gonna be Rift Herald now alive into the map for anyone to take, as QWQ and Evos Esports at the same way is looking for the contest, is looking for the dominance into the river path. But we have mid lane. It's gonna be the 4v1. Tipper is overextending, and QWQ gets the kill onto the Baron lane of Evos Esports.
Good setup there from Houghton, and now they have this man advantage across to the Rift Herald. Granted, they don't have the Shockwave, they don't have the Explosive Cast, so they have to navigate this very carefully. It seems like Evos Esports, they're just gonna back off. They don't want to contest this. They don't have the men power to do so. This goes to QWQ, and hold on. Oh no!
Evos Esports got the Globe Herald, and that will be Evos Esports getting another objective for their team. That was amazing.
Oh, you hate to see that, Infinity. You hate to see that so badly. After QWQ punished that pick, they still somehow lose the Rift Herald because they weren't careful enough with their smites. Oh, that is awful.
That was 20 HP when the Mega Inferno Bomb went from the sky under into the Rift Herald. And what a steal from G4. That is just the single statement that I'd say how G4 did there onto like a thief from QWQ.
The problem now, from a strategic standpoint, is because they don't have the Rift Herald, they can't push mid-tier 1. In fact, it's Evos Esports with the initiative because they have the Ziggs. 20% on this turret, Satchel Charge takes it down and might not even need the charge here.
On top of all that, it's gonna be the 2v1 into the enemy jungle of QWQ. Explosive Cast just to delay the fight, but unstoppable Ragnarok from the Olaf, bringing him down. The Glacial Fissure will not be enough to stop Evos Esports today as they get 5-3 2-kill lead against QWQ.
Meanwhile, Katsuyun all alone, just pushing this Baron lane. He's like, you guys can fight all you want. Just throw the Reparo, throw your ultimates. I want this solo gold. And now he's 7.2k to cool 6,000. He's got Infinity Edge. He's going to finish up the static shift here when he recalls. And he's looking so poised to control the game in the fights.
Yeah, and on top of all that, with Kat Satan getting the turret instead of any other in the Baron lane, he gets every single gold from that turret. And that just enables him to buy more items for himself when it comes to the 8-minute mark. When you're looking at the items of Evos Esports, it's just too dominant to this regard. But now it's going to be the Grand Entrance going for the one-man knock-up. QWQ is forced to back away.
Yeah, I don't think QWQ can really contest this dragon, even though it's a Cloud Drake. It's, like I said, not the most impactful. It's going to help Evos Esports rotate around the map quicker, but QWQ will drop this objective, give it over for free, try to regain some control on the map, put vision down, try to spot out where Valdez and Tipper are rotating from, and that gives you, good flash from G4.
Good micro play from G4 going for the instant flash, seeing that the chain of corruption was there from Cool. But now it's going to be QWQ looking for the Valdez as Ragnarok is now going to be forced away as Kat Satan will be there to go for the damage out, but Shockwave will connect onto 2 as Braum will get down from the ground under. QWQ will get decimated with no trade-offs against Evos Esports as they take 2 away from QWQ.
Valdez buys so much time. We saw him just pop the Ragnarok and say, hey guys, you know, we can fight into this choke. All we need is one extra body. And Kat Satan did more than that. He brought a whole army with him just to fight in that corridor. Mega Inferno Bomb plus Featherstorm just eviscerates QWQ, and 9.5 minutes approaching 10 minutes. The gold gap is 10k in favor of Evos Esports. 1,000 gold a minute. Infinity, that is absolutely insane.
Definitely, I think insane is an understatement. Is there any higher term for insane coming into this match? It's just so dominant coming from Evos Esports coming in from this one. And as you stated, Valdez just went for the Ragnarok. He doesn't care about his HP. It's 1 HP, no worries. We're just gonna bring it back. And considering that his skill kit was built to have the crew damage and also lifesteal as well, I think that was one of the reasons why he survived that fight as well. So that was just amazing knowledge of Evos Esports coming in from that engagement.
If they can find this pick, it'll be good.
Oh, but good is now going to be happening for Evos Esports, going for the one-man knock-up onto Berjaya, as Berjaya will be forced to back away, but Cool will fall down. It's a quickness going for the follow-up engagement, as Lee Sin will be forced to go for the Sonic Wave away, as Evos Esports is looking for the inhibitor turret mid lane. Everest now going for the knock-off onto Gragas as Earth will be destroyed. Evos Esports will now receive the natural lane pressure into the mid lane, opening up the base for QWQ.
This is as dominant as it gets, Infinity. I think the panel 100% right on this, except Ashurai. Good try there, buddy. You know, I like the spirit. I like the kind of optimism, but Evos is outclassing QWQ across the map. Macro play, individual skirmishes, just the item build as well. Yes, I do see a double Black Cleaver. It's not optimal, but you have to remember too that Tipper is always playing away from his team. This is one of those instances where it's okay, I guess. Like, it's not ideal, but it's okay for the Olaf to have Black Cleaver as well.
Yeah, I mean, Evos Esports a while ago, Tipper went in for the back door and won them the game with the Baron buff alone. And I think that is the same knowledge coming in from this match against QWQ. Evos Esports, Tipper is a 4-1 setup type of guy coming in from this one. If you're seeing it right now, Tipper is hovering and padding into the Dragon lane instead of into the mid lane, where every single one of his teammates are there and ready to fight.
He's always playing away from his team, which is why this Black Cleaver sort of makes sense. It's not the most efficient use of gold, but yeah, it does. And now Evos is just looking for the setup. They need the wards first to clear out this sort of top half of the jungle so they can establish control on the Baron. The Baron threat here, especially with the TP enchant on Tipper, means that QWQ are always going to be in a lose-lose situation. Am I going to answer the split pushing Renekton, or am I going to give the Baron over to Evos? It looks like the choice now is you're going to give the Baron over to Evos Esports.
And you cannot do two at the same time. If you go for the 4-man setup onto the Baron Nashers to go for the contest against Evos Esports, you're gonna get demolished. It's now gonna be Grand Entrance going for the knock-up onto Cool. Cool will get done away from QWQ, as that kill alone will lead Evos Esports into a numbers advantage to go for the Baron Nashers.
Still, they could steal this away. Tommy, he does have the mobility, he does have the smite. Look at this
Reckon's now
Infinity. Here they
coming
go.
into the fight. Mega Inferno Box to just deal some damage. It's gonna be Tommy gonna get down from the G. He's now gonna be popped. Storm is gonna be there to go for the defensive gameplay. And that flash away from Cat Satan going and recalling his feather is gonna root every single one. It's now gonna be Jackie, the only one remaining, and also Berjaya. But double kill from Nexus, putting down the Oriana from QWQ. And with a Baron buff, they're marching into the mid lane. They're trying to finish the game. It's a grand entrance going for the two-man knockup, but it's not gonna be enough to put them down. But they don't care. They're going for the Nexus base. They're snapping it hard. They're going in and they're crashing down with a win. Evos Esports takes it away from QWQ.
They make it look so simple, Infinity. At the end of day one, Evos Esports up 2-0, outclassing QWQ and just controlling the map, making it look like a masterclass in Wild Rift. There you go, the winners of match number 9. Are we even surprised? As much as I want to root for QWQ, like I said, uphill climb and too slippery, this time Evos just decimated.
Yeah, and Evos is just so dominant coming into that matchup. I think Pipper is someone that we can look at, and also Valdez coming into that one. Valdez was just going in for roams in the early game that enabled how Evos Esports wants to play that early, gain the early advantage against QWQ. And yes, QWQ got like the first blood that led them to, as you've seen in the gold graph, into the early gold lead. But Evos Esports came in for the 3-man roam, the 4-man roam that enabled them to make it back, got the win.
The important thing to remember in this game with the lane swap coming in is that despite executing the lane swap, they were unable to successfully dive the opponent Baron laner, right? Berjaya Dragons found success because they were able to kill the opponent Baron laner 3 times early on. And because of that, they send him so far behind, they give all the gold to the AD carry that the game smooths out in the mid game. QWQ, they execute the same strategy, but without understanding what the goal is. You need to apply pressure onto that Baron lane to really